how are you? Up on Live It Up is Dennis and Michael Osullivan, and they are with Insignis. They're joining us once again, and today they're going to be talking to me and you about what makes them uncommon. So what is uncommon about Insignis?
You know, it's funny. I think our industry, because there's just there's so many people doing this, it's led to what I call common thinking. And things that have been told to us by our parents, our grandparents that are supposed to be working, but things have changed over the last 20, 30, 40 years. And that common thinking has led to, I think, myths in our marketplace financially. And a myth is something that was perceived to be true that is no longer. And there's a ton of them out there that people are getting sucked into because of the fact that they're doing their planning disjointed. One of those myths is that a 15-year mortgage is more effective than a 30-year. At the end of 30 years, there's no difference between the two. It's
Really?
about cash flow.
Okay.
The fact that compounding is a miracle, that you put money in an account and it grows over time. The challenges with that is as that money grows over time, so does their tax bill. And so there's all these things that are being said out there. The big one, especially right now with, that, with the tax situation that we're in, that the 401k is a tax savings vehicle. It's not. It's a tax deferral program. And we all know that come the new year, taxes are going up. And with that, we just have to reevaluate where our clients should be putting their money based on their personal situation and where we're going forward. So I think those things, we really separate ourselves from the industry and share an uncommon thinking around money.
That makes sense to me. And what once was a truth is now a myth.
Right.
You know, it's not that the old way of looking at things was wrong then.
No,
it's just that the times have changed.
Yeah.
And now, talking about being uncommon, how did the two of you, even though you have a common last name and you grew up in a common household, how did the two of you come together in business?
Well, many years ago, Dennis, finally lured me into the business with another carrier that we were working with, and I was always in the service-minded. I was working with banking and things of that nature. And Dennis, he convinced me it was a good time in my life to make the changes. I think the maturity was there. And then we separated for some points. We had different goals and objectives that we were looking to do for ourselves. But recently, working with Dennis with the philosophy and the programs that he has available to him, I realized as good a job as I was doing, and I think I was well trained and doing a great job for my clients, I think what we're able to do now is so much more that we can bring the value. Traditional planning always says, okay, we would look for needs analysis in regards to, say, life insurance. And we would do, okay, your kid's got to go to college and the rate of inflation is going to be X and your rate of return is going to be Y, and you would have this magic number that we came up with. The reality is that number was a guess at best. And the philosophy we take now is to really maximize the people's coverage in that one particular area that we're talking about there. And we can do that with each room with the protection. And we're really a protection first firm. We want to make sure that before people sit down and start doing all their savings, that they really want to make sure that their protection room's in place. You can always save tomorrow, but if your protection rooms aren't in place today, then you run out of time, then there's nothing you can do about it. So that was, I think the timing was just right for us to really, and the philosophy, like I said, I really bought in 100%, and it kind of wooed me back over to work together again. So it's working out very, very well.
Like talking about myths and things like that and dispelling those, I guess you both spend a lot of time, kind of looking at things from all different angles, and that's why you're able to, we're going to definitely mention the living balance sheet in one of our upcoming episodes, but I guess that all kind of blends in together with that. So knowledge is power when it comes to your financial situation. Yeah,
and uncommon knowledge.
An uncommon knowledge.
and we'll talk about the website. The website has just so much of this uncommon information, because what happens is we'll share something that makes perfect sense to somebody, like the 401k.
Right.
When we actually educate our clients that, I'm not saying it's good or bad, we just have to look at your personal situation. Where might you be? If I'm working with a business owner client and he or she has maximum deductions, a couple kids, a mortgage, they might not be in a top bracket. They might be low. So even though in retirement, they actually might be in a lower income, which we don't strive to do. We want them to be in a higher income. But even if they are in a lower income, they might be personally in a higher tax bracket. So it's just reevaluating those things. And it's our job. And the beauty of the living balance sheet, it's just a tool for us to verify the things that we know to be true.
There you go.
And that's the big difference.
Debunking the myths and going with the truth.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. And what's your website?
It's insignisfinancial.com.
There you go. For more information, you can go to insignisfinancial.com, or you can always link to them through us at liveituptvshow.com, helping keep you financially strong, at least debunking the myths. Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Great seeing you again.